guys, it's Morgan, and today I have a book haul. Book haul. Do. That's gonna be my new intro, cause you know, I do these so often. This video is sponsored by Washington Square Press, who sent me a free copy of My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry by Fredrik Backman. This is a wonderful book, and I will link my review of it in the card. I don't know if it's on this side or this side, but there will be a link that pops up right about now that says, go watch my review. So, go do that. In the description, I will have a link to a giveaway. This giveaway is on a blog called Loving Dumb Books. Loving Dumb Books hosts all of these booktube tours and a bunch of really fun ones. So I would go check them out. They also have all of the other videos on that blog post that were part of this booktube tour. So go check those out. And go check out the author on the social media links in the description. Without further ado, let's get started. I placed more orders on Book Outlet. I placed 2 orders. This was actually originally 2 separate hauls, and I'm having to refilm it because I realized that if I did 2 separate hauls, I would have 3 hauls in this month, if not 4 or 5. There are a ton of books coming in the next few months so that I have my hardcovers that I want for Y'all Fest. A lot of the books that I want to have for Y'all Fest are currently in paperback, so that would be what they had there, and I wanted to get them in hardback, so I'm going on and buying some of those beforehand, so that's why I have a ton of books. So the first Book Outlet order that I placed, I got The Last Dragon Slayer by Jasper Fforde. This is just a fun kind of I don't know if it's YA or adult, and you know, it's in a world where magic used to be at a premium, and now it's not, and this girl wants to change that. Next, I have The Air Affair by Jasper Fforde. I actually talked about this in length in my wrap-up for August and my September TBR. I have not finished this yet, but I am loving it so far. It is so funny. It is set in an alternate version of 1985, and our heroine is Thursday Next, who solves literary crimes. And it's so good. Next, I got Queen Victoria's Book of Spells. This is a collection of steampunk gaslamp fantasy, including people such as Gregory Maguire, who wrote Wicked, and Catherine and Valente, who wrote The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making series. I'm excited to read this. I love anthologies and I love steampunk gaslamp fantasy stuff, so excited to delve into that. Next, I got 2 books by Jenny Han. I got P.S. I Still Love You and Burn for Burn. This is the sequel to All the Boys I've Loved Before, which I do not have, but again, I'm preparing to go see her at Y'all Fest, so I had to get the books of hers that they had in hardcover. And I think I'm just going to roll right into my other Book Outlet haul. This is a bit bigger because I did go a bit crazy. They had some really interesting books, so I just kind of got books. The first thing I picked up was A Gathering of Shadows by V. Schwab. This is the sequel to A Darker Shade of Magic. I have not read A Darker Shade of Magic, but I have met V. Schwab. She is such a nice lady, and I can't wait to see her again at Y'all Fest. This is also signed for some reason. Don't know why it's signed. I didn't buy a signed copy, but it's signed, so cool. So next I got The Bungalow Mystery, which is the 3rd Nancy Drew book, and I got it in this edition. I've been waiting for them to get this edition because a couple months ago I got the 1st, 2nd, and 4th ones in this edition, and I wanted to get this one because I love these covers. They're all super pretty, and I wanted to have my Nancy Drew books all matching. Then I got The Girl Who Heard Dragons by Anne McCaffrey. This is a collection of 15 of her short stories, all in her one fantasy world that she writes in. I've not read any Anne McCaffrey, but I know a lot of people, including a lot of my family, who really likes her books. And so I thought I would start with an anthology because anthologies are my favorite thing ever. And I got yet another anthology in the company of Sherlock Holmes. This is an anthology of stories based on the people who Sherlock Holmes worked with, including Watson and Mycroft and a bunch of people like that. Excited to get into this. If you have seen my wrap-up, you know that I have been a huge Sherlock nerd lately, and so this is an exciting addition to my little Sherlockian collection. I found We Are Pirates by Daniel Handler on Book Outlet as well. This is a book about the relationship between a father and his 14-year-old daughter, who is currently rummaging the San Francisco Bay Area as a pirate. And it's short, it's cute, and it was really inexpensive. And I loved Why We Broke Up, so I decided to go on and pick it up. Next, I have the Camille Rose Garcia edition of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. This is just a very pretty gothic inspired edition, and I love Camille Rose Garcia's art. I've been waiting to get this edition, so when I saw it, I picked it up immediately. Next, I got the Fairy Tale Matchmaker, The Perfect Match by E.D. Baker. I'm a huge fan of E.D. Baker's books, and so when I saw they had this for cheap, I actually already got the hardcover of the Fairy Tale Matchmaker on there, so I decided to pick this one up as well. Next, I have The Epic Adventures of Lydia Bennet. This is the novelization that follows the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, which, if you didn't know, was an amazing web series following Pride and Prejudice, and this is afterwards. In the web series, Lydia ends up being exploited by Wickham, so this kind of shows what she goes through afterwards. And lastly, I have You're Never Weird on the Internet, Almost by Felicia Day. Felicia Day is probably my favorite actress, and so when I saw they had this, I also had to pick this up. So, if you managed to get through all of that Book Outlet stuff, I am proud of you. I still have a lot of books left. Next, I picked up A Torch Against the Night by Sabati here. I am super excited to read this, and I'm not going to tell you what it's about because it is a sequel, so. Next, I got my bookcase club, which contained 2 fairy tale books. It contained Thornjack by Catherine Harbour and Stray by Elisa Sussman. These both sound really good. Again, I don't know much about them, but I got them in a subscription box. But they sound really, really good, so I'm excited to pick them up. Especially excited to pick up Thornjack. This formatting, this big kind of square, threw me for a loop. Next, I picked up 2 books just on a whim. I picked up this Word Cloud Classics edition of Hans Christian Andersen's Tales. I love it. It's like leather bound and it's green, and it was so pretty, so I had to pick it up. I also picked up The Gilded Cage by Lucinda Gray. This is a Victorian murder mystery, I think. Again, really, really cool. It's gothic. I love gothic. I love Victorian, and I'm excited to read this. Next, I won a Goodreads giveaway, and I got an Arc of Balcony on the Moon. This is a memoir of a woman who wanted to become a writer in Palestine, and it sounds super interesting. I love reading stories of feminism and courage, and I'm excited to read this as well. Next, I got an amazing giveaway package from the lovely Cami Garcia. Of course, I got The Lovely Reckless. This is an ARC, and it will be released in October. This is signed, as is The Air and Finale by Becca Fitzpatrick. Both of these are sequels, so I'm not going to say much about them. The Lovely Reckless, however, is a very interesting sounding contemporary. I've not read it yet, but I'm excited to get into it, and I can't wait for it to be released in October. Next, I got 2 copies of P.S. I Like You, both from my Owl Crate and my Uppercase. My mom has my other copy, but this is this copy, and it's about a girl who writes song lyrics on her desk, and someone fills them in. And last but not least, I finally managed to get an illustrated copy of The Philosopher's Stone. This has been on my radar for a year or so, and I'm so glad that I finally managed to get a good copy. So that was my entire haul, and I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping that I had to get done. Number 1, I've mentioned it a ton of times, but I've never actually said, I'm going to be at Y'all Fest this year. If you see me there, please come up and say hi. I would love to meet some of y'all. So I hope to see some of y'all there. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see y'all in another video soon. Bye, humans!